return home. They begin shooting their first feature, Hard Day's Night.
It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog.
Excuse me, but these young men I'm sitting with wondered if two of us could come over and join you. I'd actually myself, only I'm shy.
On the first day of filming, Harrison meets a young model on the set named Pattie Boyd.
I should have known better with a girl like you, that I would love everything that you do.
She played an over-the-top fan, and the Beatles were kind of locked in the baggage compartment. And in between takes, George started to talk to her.
Although Boyd is engaged to another man, Harrison persists, and he finally wins her over. The love affair between the model and the musician captivates London.
You know, both young, both attractive, both in the public eye in a way that just seemed to exactly capture what was going on in London at that time, all of the vibrancy and all of the possibility.
Instead, Harrison turns inward to thoughts of his blossoming love life. In January 1966, after nearly 2 years of courtship, George and Pattie marry in a simple City Hall ceremony. The typically private Harrison is only too happy to showcase his bride to the hounding press. George and Pattie embrace this New Age lifestyle, and the couple is determined to spread their Indian-spiced spirituality to their friends. In August '67, the Beatles and their wives travel to Bangor, Wales, to study with Indian spiritual leader Maharishi. It is around this time that Harrison's marriage to Pattie begins to unravel, largely due to his intense dedication to Hare Krishna philosophy. Although Pattie herself continues to dabble in the ways of the Eastern lifestyle, she is not nearly as devoted as her husband, and begins to feel neglected by Harrison's lack of attention.
They were having problems. George was meditating. George was chanting Hare Krishna. George was involved in his philosophy. Maharishi was one thing. That was fun. But Hare Krishna is a little bit like heavy, 100 proof yoga, spirituality. And George was way more into it than Pattie. Always a problem in a relationship.
Pattie tries to salvage the marriage by suggesting that they adopt a child. George refuses. Longtime Harrison friend Eric Clapton, who has harbored strong feelings for Pattie for years, reaches out to her.
George and Eric were very close friends. Pattie, of course, very beautiful and somewhat forlorn. She felt that George had disappeared into the spiritual world, and she came to rely on Eric as a kind of emotional support.
The ultimate illustration of Clapton's affection is expressed in the song Layla, about his then unrequited love for Pattie.
There's just a kind of romantic agony in that music that really characterized what was going on. Everybody's struggling privately with what's happening, and Layla was the artistic triumph that emerged out of all that pain.
George and Pattie eventually separate. When they officially divorce in a London court in June of 1977, Clapton is in the middle of it.
He was George's best friend, and he was lusting after his best friend's wife. And George is so sweet and nice guy that, I know he felt terribly guilty. And they eventually got together, and George said, well, if I've got to lose my wife, I'd rather lose her to him than some dope.
Pattie marries Clapton 2 years later, and as a testament to their enduring friendship, George attends a reception held in honor of the new Mr. and Mrs. Clapton.